Hey, what's up, everybody? Hope you're all doing well. So, the Yankees took Game 1 of a three-game series versus the Baltimore Orioles, and they took it by a score of 7-0. I kind of had a feeling that the Yankees played really, really well against the Orioles last year, and I had a feeling they were going to play well to start the year off as well. They just seemed to be a good fit for them to play well or kind of rebound from bad performance, even though they're a young, dynamic team, and they had splashed a couple veterans into their young lineup. And they're still without Adley Rutschman and a couple of these other young guys. So they're an up-and-coming team, the Orioles. I've got to give it to them. And they swept the Boston Red Sox to open up the season in Fenway Park. So you could see the talent is there. But the Yankees just kind of have their number. They've had their number last year. And it looks like they might have their number this year. But we'll see. But today was the Gumby show. Jordan Montgomery, absolutely dominant. 6 innings, 4 hits, no runs, no walks, 7 strikeouts. Ace type performance. So it was fantastic. A lot of, he reminds me a lot of Andy Pettitte. He's got some similarities to him. So, and he was he's the only left-hander that we have in the rotation, even though earlier today the Yankees did sign Mike Montgomery for pitching depth. And my guess is he'll wind up being up at some point too. Even though he struggled this spring with the Royals, but he's the guy that closed out the 2016 World Series for the Chicago Cubs. And he's a lefty, so it gives him another veteran lefty. He's only 31 years old, and he's got some pitching in him, it looks like. But if he gets it together, he might be a nice, helpful piece for the Yankees at some point. So, but back to Montgomery, absolutely dominant. And, the pitchers have been pitching pretty well so far. And aside from Domingo Germán, had a bit of a rough day yesterday, although only gave up 3 runs. But still, the starters are pitching pretty well right now. Now, tomorrow, Gerrit is going to go again. And then the third game of the series, it will be Jameson Taillon in his debut of the season. So that's kind of how the 6-man rotation for this first round is going. And then apparently it's going to go back to a 5-man after that, but we'll see what they do. But offensive side, the bats started to wake up. Aaron Judge, opposite field, solo home run today, early in the game. And then later on, after we loaded the bases, and actually Aaron Hicks walked in the run with the bases loaded, Giancarlo Stanton came up and hit a 470-plus foot bomb for a grand slam to put the Yankees up 5-0. And he had a couple other base hits too from DJ LeMahieu, and Aaron Judge got another hit. What else we have? Gleyber Torres got a hit. Gio Urshela got a hit. So Clint Frazier got a hit as well, and he got an RBI too. He scored a run, I should say. So that's just starting to come together, and I knew this was going to happen. I mean, for those that are kind of familiar with these Yankees of the last decade or so, they're notoriously slow starters. I've said it in my last couple of videos. It takes them a while to get going, but when they do, when they're clicking on all cylinders, they're really, really good. They're going to be really hard to beat. And Luke Voigt hasn't even introduced himself as part of the picture yet, and he won't be back for a couple of weeks at least. And then we've got Justin Wilson to come back. We've got Zach Britton to come back. So we still have pieces that are starters that have yet to play. So with that, they look really good. And again, played the patient approach today too. They drew a bunch of walks. DJ drew 2 walks. Judge drew a walk. Hicks drew a walk. Jay Bruce drew 2 walks. And Frazier drew another walk. So I said this before. This is something that I haven't seen a lot of the Yankees teams do over the last 7 or 8 years, is show more plate discipline and patience and drawing walks, because a lot of them will just be going for the hit or the drive in, and they wind up striking out or popping up or grounding out or something like that. And in a lot of these cases, when Stanton comes up and hits a grand slam instead of a 2-run shot, you have guys on there that drew walks. So it's a valuable piece of plate discipline that the Yankees are now showing, which I'm impressed with. So after Montgomery, Luis Cessa came in, threw 2 shutout innings, and looked solid too. And then Aroldis Chapman came out and closed the 9th, showing his new split finger pass ball. He's got another out pitch to go with his 100-mile heater, which he was hitting touching 100 tonight. So he looked dominant as well. So all in all, it was a good game for the Yankees, their best game of the season so far, and just looked like a more familiar, more recognizable Yankee team, where they were just playing clean ball. They did have an error, but it wasn't hurtful at all. And it was just clean ball, efficient. They looked more patient. They looked more comfortable. And I kind of had a feeling they needed a team like the Orioles right now to kind of help them find their way, which it looks like they have. But we'll see. We'll see how they do the next couple games. I think Gerrit Cole will pitch well tomorrow. And even though he threw strong, he had a strong opening day and made 2 mistake pitches. I think he'll be he'll pitch really well tomorrow too. So, and I'm looking forward to see Jameson Taillon's debut in the 3rd game of the series. So, there's a lot of excitement, a lot of exciting stuff coming. I can't wait for Voit to get back and for Wilson to get in there and Britton to get in there so the Yankees team is more complete. So, looking good right now. They're 2-2, and so they evened off their record. And my guess is they'll be starting an upward trajectory at some point, maybe starting tomorrow. So, but that's the recap today. Short and sweet. It was a much better played game by the Yankees. Much cleaner baseball. Much less tentative. Much less sloppy. And they needed this game. They really did. And so that's the recap. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like recaps like this, and I do them every day now, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet, and hit that notification so you're notified exactly when the recap comes out. That way you don't miss any. And I'll definitely give a breakdown of each game, particularly if you've missed it. And so this will be a way of giving you a quick summary of what happened at the game. So during that day or during that night. So you won't want to miss those. And I do a bunch of other videos as well in there. I squeeze in a bunch of predictions and all kinds of cool stuff that I'm working on. So be on the lookout for those as well. I'll be doing some more profiles. And I also want to say welcome back to Trey Mancini from the Baltimore Orioles. He had colon cancer and he had a long battle and just came back to the majors, and that's good to see. It's good to see players like that, like Jameson Taillon had testicular cancer. It's good to see these guys fight their way back and persevere their way back to the major leagues and get a lot of love for it and get back and play the game that they love. That to me is exciting. That's one of the best things about baseball. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you tomorrow night.